Stop everything and listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you is not just another Social Security update. This is a full-blown January 1st shockwave, a rule rewrite that's generating confusion, panic, and urgent warnings across the country. Whether you're retired, approaching retirement, living on SSDI, waiting for a decision, or relying on survivor benefits to get through each month, this message demands your attention right now. Because beginning January 1st, changes being discussed at the federal administrative level, cost of living recalculations, and new agency procedures could directly affect how benefits are reviewed, updated, processed, delayed, verified, or even adjusted. And if you don't take the right actions now, you risk finding yourself caught inside the system at the worst possible moment, right after the new year hits. I want you to imagine this. The calendar flips to January 1st, and overnight, millions of seniors and disabled Americans suddenly find themselves facing new identity verification rules, new eligibility review timings, new documentation requests, and new processing priorities that nobody fully understands yet. Calls start pouring into Social Security offices, wait times explode, payment updates lag, and beneficiaries are left wondering, is my check safe? Will my COLA update process correctly? Do I need to submit something? Am I going to miss a payment? That's the environment we're walking into. And the truth is, yes, there are discussions about tightening oversight, modifying review cycles, shifting workloads due to staffing shortages, and implementing recalibrated systems that could affect how your benefits flow in the first weeks of the new year. January 1st isn't just a date on the calendar. It's a pivot point, a moment where the system resets, and everything from COLA to earnings limits to Medicare premiums to disability determinations can shift all at once. This is why experts, advocates, and even internal SSA staffers have been raising alarms about operational strain coming with the January 1st reset. Think about it. Millions of automated recalculations, millions of Medicare-linked adjustments, millions of disability reviews and backlog, millions of direct deposit updates, millions of payees who moved during the holidays, all landing simultaneously. A perfect storm. And when you combine that with the potential administrative rule updates under discussion, everything gets even more intense. There's talk about new identity verification standards being phased in early in the year, discussions about tightening earnings reporting for people on disability, potential adjustments in how certain overpayments are flagged, and, likely the biggest one, new digital processing systems being rolled out region by region. Anytime a system changes, errors go up. Anytime new documentation rules are introduced, confusion skyrockets. January 1st is shaping up to be one of the most chaotic Social Security transitions in years, and you need to know what that means for you. So let's cut through the noise and get into the real implications. First, retirees. If you rely on Social Security retirement benefits, January 1st is when your annual cost of living adjustment enters the system. But that's also when the system experiences the highest volume of recalculations. If agencies shift verification standards or apply additional review steps, certain retirees could experience temporary delays or holds if there are mismatches in bank information, mailing addresses, Medicare records, or identity flags. With staffing shortages already limiting how quickly local offices can respond, advocates warn that retirees should double-check their account settings, direct deposit details, and mailing addresses before the new year hits. A simple outdated zip code or mismatched bank routing number could trigger a January review you didn't ask for. Now let's talk about SSDI recipients, because you may feel this shockwave even harder. Disability determinations, continuing disability reviews, earnings reports, and medical documentation requirements are among the areas being watched most closely heading into January 1st. There are discussions about shifting how disability reviews are prioritized, especially for older workers approaching retirement age. There's also growing pressure on the agency to tighten reporting compliance due to rising overpayment cases in 2024 to 2025. This means SSDI recipients may face increased identity checks, more frequent requests for follow-ups, and possibly more automated alerts. Imagine waiting for your disability check only to learn your account is paused because the system flagged missing documentation that you weren't even aware you needed. That's the type of chaos January could bring if you're not prepared. Survivors and widows receiving benefits are also in the crosshairs of January recalculations. Spousal benefit offsets, income reporting, dependent updates, and Medicare deductions all funnel through the January reset, meaning that even small discrepancies in the system can cause temporary confusion. People who recently lost a spouse or who are in the process of switching from one benefit type to another need to pay close attention because transitions made in December can cause mismatches in the new year. If you're expecting survivor benefits to begin in January, get ready for the possibility of delays or requests for updated documents. That's not fear-mongering. That's reality when millions of accounts update at once. Then there are Supplemental Security Income (SSI) recipients, perhaps the most vulnerable group entering January. SSI is tied tightly to income and resources, meaning even small adjustments in cost of living, rental assistance, or earnings reporting can trigger automatic system checks. Recipients who live with family or who receive help with housing or meals may see their files flagged for living arrangement verification. Those who work part-time or seasonally may face new reporting demands as states update wage systems after the holidays. And because SSI is processed at the state and federal levels simultaneously, any hiccup can cause delays in payments, especially early in the year. Advocates warn SSI recipients to triple-check their reporting before January arrives and to avoid missing December deadlines for wage reports. But this isn't just about benefits. It's about the entire Social Security system preparing for a massive, nationwide shift in how information is processed and verified. Staffing shortages have pushed Social Security offices to the brink. Reports have already shown that disability applications now take record levels of time to process. Customer service wait times have hit some of the highest levels in a decade. And with millions of Americans relying on their January benefits to pay rent, buy food, cover medicine, or survive winter utility bills, any delay, even a temporary one, can be devastating. That's why this January 1st rule rewrite moment is so critical. The agency is under pressure to modernize, to crack down on errors, to reduce overpayments, and to streamline systems. But any adjustment at this scale means real people can be affected if they're not prepared. This is where your immediate action comes in. Before January hits, every beneficiary needs to secure their My Social Security account, verify their payment method, update personal information, gather documents, and understand the potential changes being discussed. If you receive SSI, you must report your wages before the cutoff. If you're on SSDI and have worked even a few hours this year, you must ensure those reports are accurate and complete. If you're a retiree nearing full retirement age and still working, you must understand how the earnings test could affect your January payment. If you're a survivor or transitioning from disability to retirement benefits, make sure your paperwork is processed before the new year. The people who prepare now will avoid the chaos later. The biggest takeaway is this: January 1st will be a turning point. This rule rewrite moment isn't about one law or one policy. It's about the entire Social Security framework tightening, shifting, recalibrating, and preparing for a new administrative era. Identity verification is becoming stricter. Reviews are becoming more frequent. Processing systems are being updated. Documentation requirements may expand. And beneficiaries who don't stay ahead of this could feel the impact in the form of delays, holds, or unnecessary reviews. But the good news is that those who take action now can stay protected. So as the new year approaches, don't wait for something to go wrong. Don't assume everything will process smoothly. And don't let January 1st catch you off guard. Get informed, get prepared, and stay alert. Because this January shockwave is not something you want to deal with unprepared. Remember, Social Security is not just a benefit. It's your survival, your stability, your lifeline. And that's exactly why you must take this seriously. This has been your January 1st Social Security warning, and the next few weeks are your chance to secure your future before everything changes. Stay ready, stay informed, and stay ahead of the shockwave.